everybody and welcome back to the channel, and if you're new, you're really welcome. I'm Jane and my husband Mike is holding the camera. We're British, early retirees, debt and mortgage free, and living a thrifty, frugal and money saving life on a super tight budget here in Brittany in northwest France. And every Sunday we share an aspect of our private life with you. Something that we've done maybe to save money, or something that we've done to keep ourselves busy. So let's take a look at what we've been up to. We've just finished the third week of No Buy July, and we're obviously going into the rest of No Buy July. It's a good time of year for us. It's warm, there's plenty to do in the garden, and we're going to share with you, we have been busy. My garden's producing well, so I have been bottling. You call it canning. I had to think, what do Americans call bottling? You call it canning. So I've been making jam and marmalade, and I've had free apples. I've been bottling apples. Today, I'm bottling tomatoes, and I'll explain to you how we use and reuse our jars from the stores, really. So if we get some sauce from the store, we keep and reuse these jars. It's the way we do it here. Please bear with us. We don't do it the way some countries do it. We do it differently. But we're going to share with you all the things that we've been up to. Wait to the end, because you'll see something I've finished doing this month. There Mike goes on another trip to the Chittery. Let's show you the progress of getting rid of this pile. We are halfway of getting rid of it, and we're pulling out all the bits of wood that we can cut up quite easily and use in our fire. We're making good progress here. Let's walk you down here. This time of year it's dry enough on this part of the land for Mike to cut all of this. It's a bit lumpy and bumpy. The hope is eventually, if you go over and over it enough with the lawnmower, that you can eventually ride the tractor lawnmower down here. If I take you to the left here, you can see this is the wilderness part of our garden, and that, if I stand back, that is what the entire of our garden was like, all 2.5 acres of it, when we moved here. Let's walk you down a bit more, just as steadily as I can. Should have brought the gimbal. Yeah, let's take you right up and show you what it looked like when we came here. You can see here there's fallen trees everywhere, and that's what the entire of our land was like initially. And Mike's been working so hard here and trimming away. He's left a bit that he wants me to do down here, because he doesn't like to trim too close to my plants. And here you can see I have, poking out there and there, some gunnera I was given. So the next thing I'll do is I'll go and get my strimmer, and I'll trim all this area around a giant box. So, wide shot, there you are, and you can see the rivers next to it. So it's No Spend July, and I've been keeping really busy, and here's some of the things that I've been doing to keep really busy. Today I made black currant and apple jam, but it's still boiling hot. I'm not going to touch that. I've hot packed these, so these have not been water bathed. So all that these cost me was the 180 for the €1.80 for the sugar. Over here I made 6 jars of bread and butter pickles from the cucumbers in our greenhouse. And you know, that wasn't very much, was it? A bit of sugar, some vinegar and some pickling spices, so really not very much. And over here I got a load of free apples, and I have canned them and water bathed them in a light syrup. And lastly, I did make 7 jars of marmalade, but my husband's already eaten 2 jars. So let's talk about jars and what we do here. Our jars are safety jars. When they vacuum seal, they suck down tight, so you know that they have sealed. And our jars inside, our lids inside, have got like a rubber bit on it, and you can check that, and if that is okay and there's no dents in it and there's no holes in it, they're good to use again. And don't forget, you know, in Europe we do things differently here. The apples, I've not had this happen before with apples, but the apples my neighbours gave me, he said they were not good apples, and he was right, they are not good apples. They taste nice, but the texture isn't great. So what they've done is that they've floated on top of it, but they've all sealed. They've been water bathed for the right amount of time. And again, we reuse our jars. So we sterilise our jars by boiling them. We boil the lids. We do everything right. Everything's sterile. And we reuse our jars. And you know, you can look at people all across France and Spain and Italy and lots of other countries reusing their jars. It's just what we do here. So you can see things like, if I've had any sauces from the supermarket, which I think, whoopee, it's in a jar, got a free jar, we use them again. And these are still sealing. So this one, not sealed yet. This one, not sealed yet. This one has sealed, 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 not sealed yet. So the science of this is you put the jars come out of the oven at over 100 degrees centigrade. The jam goes in, it's boiling hot. The lids have come out of boiling water, and as they cool down and lose temperature, it creates a vacuum and it seals it. So there we go. So I have had a busy July. I am now waiting for the blackberries to ripen, and I do not make blackberry jam. I'm not keen on all the pips in there, but blackberry jelly. And I have made some apple crumble with these apples. So even though the texture isn't great, they're really tasty. And you know, free apples are the best, aren't they? So free apples. So do not worry about us reusing our jam jars. You know, I'm never going to suggest that you do it the way we Europeans do it. That's cool. You do it your way. And we always say here, don't we? You do you. And that's absolutely fine. And we recycle all of ours. And we really, I mean, most of us around here, we do not have the money to go and buy those fancy canning jars and lids and stuff. So we just reuse what we've got. And generation after generation after generation of us have not succumbed to botulism or anything else that you might be worried about, and we're all fine. So there we go. I've had a busy few days. That's rather lovely, isn't it?
So we like a walk of an evening. We take the dogs out.
Down the little country lanes. It's rather gorgeous, isn't it?
And luckily we're in a mild part of France relative to the heat wave that's going on.
Oh, we haven't got a heat wave.
So
we're wearing jumpers.
So we can enjoy an evening out.
I'm going to show you. Jumper. I'm all covered up. It's a nice cool 20 degrees. Lovely for walking. It's all green and lush, it's not dry at all. And this is our dog's favourite walk because they are sniffing and sniffing and sniffing. What can you smell? There's evidence of badgers and foxes and all sorts of things here. So they love it. And the deer come down here so they can smell that. They absolutely love it. It's Tuesday morning and let me give you an update on my quilt progress. So I've got all the centre part done and I've put a border all the way around it. I've got 2 inches in the red. It's actually quite a bright red, it looks quite dark there. And this is a 4-inch in that colour, kind of inky blue, which gives it a 6-inch border all the way around, which takes the quilt to 7 foot by 7 foot. This is the biggest quilt I've ever made to be donated to a local animal charity, and they raffle these and it raises them some money. So now I need to make a 7 foot, well, it'll be slightly bigger. It'll be a 7.5 foot by 7.5 foot backing to go onto this. So the next thing I'll do is make the backing and then get it all loaded up onto the frame, and I hope to get that finished today. It is Wednesday morning. I need to finish loading this quilt onto my long arm. From start to finish, it takes about an hour for me to load a quilt onto my long arm. So I've got everything done so far. Now I need to get the quilt batting in. You can see there's loads of it. It's a big old quilt. So I'm going to get it loaded into the frame. My quilt is finished and I'm going to make the binding to go with that. But before I do that, I want to share with you what I do with all my leftover offcuts of wadding. Now, this is expensive, even though I buy it in bulk. It still costs me €7 per square metre. So what you can see I've done here is I take all the bits that are left and I zigzag stitch them together. So I end up with, let me open this up for you. That's half size there. And I square them off as well, so they are usable. You can see here, I've zigzag strips together. So there you go, I don't waste any of it. And I sew squares and squares together until I have a piece big enough for a whole quilt again. So this is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to take all the small bits that are left, and I've squared all of these up, and I will zigzag these all together so I have a bigger bit. As I said, don't like waste. I'm now in the penultimate stage of my quilt. So the quilt is made. I put a total of 6 inches of border around it, and now I'm going to add on the binding. The binding is actually this strip of red, because this strip of red is the back of a piece of fabric, and I'm going to zoom in on this now to show you this. Let's zoom in, there we go. So that is going to be the binding, and I will sew that onto the edge and show you when I have done it. But if you're ever stuck for some fabric, that you want some fabric, you think, I'm not sure if I've got it, have a look at the back. You might find it really useful. I have sewn the binding on all the way around. Here it is. And what I will do is I will hand sew it on the back all the way around. It's quite relaxing. It takes a while, but I'll hand sew it on the back, and what I do is I sink all the hand stitches in so you can't see them. There it is, the binding all sewn. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed today's video, go on, please hit that like button. Thank you to everyone who leaves a comment, and we read every single one of them. And if you're not a subscriber, come on, hit that subscribe button. We know half of you watching are not subscribers, so we'd love you to be so. So here is the reveal. Here is the quilt that I've been making, and here it is. So goodbye, and we hope you like it.